Hey guys, alright, David here. It is Thursday, 11:32 p.m. Not that you need to know that, but October 22nd, 2009, and I am here to do Geek Update 3.9. I'm pretty sure it's 3.9. It might be 3.8, but I'm pretty 99.99% sure that it's 3.9. Anyway, let's get right into it, guys. I have not done a Geek Update in literally months. Actually, technically, I did record a Geek Update 3.9 months ago, but I didn't like how it turned out. It wasn't interesting, but I finally have a lot of topics to talk about tonight. First of all, a little disclaimer, I'm still getting over being sick for a few days, so if I look like crap, that's why. I'm not myself. I'm stuffed up. It's late. My eyes hurt because my contacts and stuff like that. So, just a little disclaimer since it's been a while since I did a video blog. Anyway, guys, my first topic I'm going to talk about is Halo 3 ODST. Yes, this game came out, I believe, September 22nd, was it? For the 360, obviously. The day the Halo series moves to the PS3 is the day I stab myself with a Windows 7 box. Not that makes sense, I'm just saying, Bungie and Microsoft are tight. So, I believe so anyway. So, I did get Halo 3 ODST on the day it came out. Yes, I paid the full $60 for a glorious expansion pack. Some people call it an expansion. It's not really an expansion. First, let me start by saying the game is brand new. It's a whole new single-player campaign. The multiplayer is pretty much the same, except they added firefight. But first, I'm going to talk about the single-player. The single-player was different than Halo 3. It was different enough that it was like, oh, this is cool. It's not the same Halo 3 gameplay, the Halo 2 gameplay that we're used to for the past few years now. It kind of goes back to the days of Halo 1, where you got to get health packs to survive, and while the game is, at least to me, the game was a lot more difficult than Halo 3 was. I died a lot more. The game was more dark, so you couldn't see the enemies as well, which made it more interesting. It was more of a challenge. It wasn't too easy, because in my opinion, Halo 2 and Halo 3 were kind of easy to beat, the single player anyway. So it was kind of like a remorse. Not a remorse, it's a horrible word. Horrible choice of word. It was kind of like a refresher, there we go, to play a more difficult game. Anyway, I'm rambling. So what did I think about the single player overall? I have to be honest, I didn't like it that much. Yes, it was different than Halo 3, which was good, but it was different enough to the point where it was kind of blah. Almost everyone I've talked to is saying Halo 3 ODST was the best single player in the Halo series yet. And I'm sorry, but I have to fully disagree. I thought it was boring. I was playing it to the point where I was like, oh, come on, David, just finish already. I want to get to the multiplayer. This game isn't interesting. Okay, well, don't get me wrong. The game was interesting. It wasn't a horrible game, obviously. It's pretty hard to screw up a Halo game. The thing I'm trying to say is ODST single player was interesting, but it wasn't interesting enough. I'm not good at giving reviews, so that's why I'm kind of giving mixed thoughts here. But overall, the game was good. Worth $60? Hell no. I'm sorry, the game was not worth $60. Halo 3 was worth $60. ODST was fun, but it didn't have enough, oh wow, look at that moments. You know, Halo 3 had more boss type maps, levels, missions, whatever you want to call them. ODST, as far as I know, only had one big boss fight, and that was towards the end, and it wasn't even that difficult to beat. Again, I'm sorry if I'm giving mixed signals here, mixed thoughts. I'm just kind of speaking off my mind because I don't have any notes for this video blog. So overall, I liked it, but not enough to pay $60 for it, which unfortunately I already did. It was worth it for the multiplayer, because the multiplayer, as usual, is freaking fun. It's basically Halo 3 multiplayer with 3 new maps. It kind of sucks that I paid for all the maps for the Mythic Pack and the Legendary Pack and all that stuff in Halo 3, because you kind of get them for free, kind of, in ODST, which kind of sucks, but it's good for the Halo newcomers, because that way you get everything in one. And in that sense, the game is worth $60, but for me personally, it was not. I didn't play Firefight that much, but from what I played, it was pretty fun. I have yet to actually play with somebody else, which I'm sure is what makes it a lot of fun, because a lot of people are saying it's great. I've only played it by myself so far, just to kind of get a feel for it, but I know I owe my friend Alfred a few matches of Firefight, so hopefully we'll do that soon. then maybe I'll get some thoughts on Twitter. Twitter.com/thecreativeone. Now, moving on to topic 2 is a totally different game. I recently rented this off GameFly. Yes, I'm using GameFly now because I'm to the point in my life where I had to catch up on these games. I've missed so many games in the past due to going to college last year because, school's more important, obviously. And I was just distracted and busy with stuff at college. So now I'm having the time to catch up on games with GameFly, and GameFly is cheap, considering what you're getting. Because I beat Mirror's Edge, is the game I'm about to talk about. I beat that game in a day, sent it back within 3 days because I played through it again. And now I rented Bionic Commando, which looks freaking awesome. That'll be here tomorrow, hopefully, so maybe I'll do a video on that. If not, I'll just post it on Twitter of my quick thoughts in 160 characters or less. Let me talk about Mirror's Edge real quick. Mirror's Edge is the kind of game where you either love it or you want to throw it out of a building and hope it vanishes in the air on its way down. That's a pretty bad metaphor. Is that the word for that? But basically what I'm saying is people either love it or they hate it. Personally, I loved it. Mirror's Edge was freaking amazing. It was a great game. Mirror's Edge was the first kind of game I've ever played where it's like parkour. Yes, I'm thinking of The Office right now, Season 6. That was a great episode. Parkour is, well, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure most of you know already. After this video, go on YouTube, search parkour. The word park, then O-U-R. I believe that's how you spell it. It's basically a sport. I guess you could call it a sport. A sport where people try to get from point A to point B as creatively as possible. Say, for instance, I was trying to get to the house across the street. Instead of walking down the stairs like a normal person, walking out the front door and keeping myself perfectly safe, unless I fell down the steps or whatever, then I'd be fine. But with parkour, I would jump out my window, run down the roof, swing off the basketball net while I'm down there, hoping a car is passing by, run over that, do a flip, land on my feet, but then do a little I'm thinking of Star Fox. Do a little tumble, roll over, whatever that word is. Then kind of run up the house, grab the windows, and break the glass, and flip in, and flip again, and run on the walls, and flip again just to show off. That's basically what parkour is. Mirror's Edge is parkour in first person. Now, like I said, I've never played a game like this before. I forget the person's name, but somebody on Twitter asked me if the controls frustrated me as much as they did for them. And I have to say, honestly, no. I thought the controls were very well thought out. Yes, there were moments where if you press the shoulder button to jump on the 360, I rented it, by the way. If you press the shoulder button to jump, like even a millisecond late, you'll fall off the building to your death. That's the only real complaint I had about the game. But overall, the game was great. The controls are great. The storyline was but I don't play video games for the storyline, really. That's why I watch movies. Mirror's Edge was great. I played through it once, beat it. Got not all the achievements, but I got all the achievements from the single-player experience, like generic achievements. And then I liked the game so much where I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go through the game again, this time on hard, and without shooting one enemy. So that way I can get that special achievement. And let me just tell you, the game was freaking... I was to the point where I wanted to jump out my own window and fall to my death. No, not really. That's a little dramatic. However, I did have thoughts where I was like, oh, I just want to finish this game and send it back to wherever this game came from. I think Texas. Something like that. But I stuck with it. I'm the kind of person who doesn't give up on things, well, for the most part, except for iPhone programming. Now that's frustrating. Anyway, I'm really rambling here. What am I up to? Jesus, Christmas. Sorry. I beat the game again on hard. I beat the game without killing one single enemy. I got the extra achievements, and I was happy. I was like, thank God. Packed it up, sent it back to Texas, and Bionic Commando will be here tomorrow, like I said. So if you're thinking about buying Mirror's Edge, get it. It's worth at least, well, I say at the most $40, at least $20. Well, if you can get the game for $1, hell, buy it. But I don't think you're going to find that anywhere for $1 unless you steal it and leave $1 behind, which you shouldn't do. That's not good. Basically, point is Mirror's Edge was good. I know I'm talking fast there. And that's that. So my third topic here is I'm not going to go too in depth here. Apple recently released a bunch of new products. but I want to talk about two products here. One being the Apple remote, which I have here. So Apple came out with a new Apple remote. I'm not too crazy about the design. I'm not crazy about black on aluminum, but I think it's growing on me with the whole iMac thing, and I think it's one of those products that will look better in person. So I'm definitely going to be buying myself one because it's only $20. It's not too bad, especially considering I use my Apple TV literally almost on a daily basis. I love my Apple TV. A lot of people out there don't see the point in it, but I'm a huge media person. I love video. I love music. I love pictures. I love podcasts especially. And Apple TV is one of my favorite Apple products ever. It's probably in my top five favorite Apple products ever. Say that 5 times fast. The second thing I want to talk about is the iMac. Okay, here we go. Apple really is doing something right lately. I think they're finally listening to customers. Well, they've always been listening, but Apple's the kind of company who are like, it's our way or no way. And I'm sure many of you will agree with me. Apple always kind of does things their own way, and they don't care about the competition. Well, they do, but only to a certain extent. Like sometimes they think, oh, we don't need Blu-ray drives, which they still don't have, and they don't really need them. It would be nice, but I plan to buy one for my Mac Pro anyway, eventually. The point is, the iMac is now available in 21.5 inches, which is insane for its lowest model, and the highest model, and the only other model right now, is 27 inches. That's insane, guys. 27 inches is huge for a computer. And not only that, but it doubles as a display. So say I got an iMac to put on my desk, which I'm obviously not going to because I don't need it. I could put the iMac on my desk, have it in extended desktop display mode, or second display mode, whatever you want to call it. Extended desktop, same thing. Basically, I would have a second display. I would use that on my Mac Pro as a display, but if I didn't want to use it as a display, I would disconnect it and use it as a regular iMac. And it's wall mountable. And that's really interesting. I think this is really cool. Maybe this is Apple's entry into the TV market in a way. Yes, I know the iMac is not a TV, but you gotta admit, it's getting there. It doubles as a display. Apple's finally supporting this. And yes, it's been rumored for a long time that Apple's finally going to come out with its own range of actual HD TV monitors. Like actual TVs, not computers. Like my Sony TV would be an Apple TV. Now, personally, I don't know if Apple would succeed in that, but they could if they did something unique, like built iTunes streaming into there, kind of like the Apple TV, but in a TV. The Apple TV and an iMac, and combine them into one, that would be a great, I guess, set-top box, like a DVR built into a TV. So maybe this is where Apple's going with this. Because it's interesting that they upgraded the Apple TV remote, but the Apple TV still comes with this same cheap plastic model, which I'm perfectly happy with. I don't really have any complaints with this. It's small, it's compact, and it works, but the new Apple TV remote does look better, so yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm really rambling. I do want to recommend one song. Hold on. Let me open my iTunes here. I'm using a ghetto tripod right now. By tripod, I mean a stack of Xbox games, which I still have to do a video on. The song I want to recommend is... let me get my music up here. The theme from a movie called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Yes, it's been a while since a Geek Update, but as you probably know, I like to recommend a song for you guys to download via iTunes, and one that I think would interest you guys. And this song is just downright amazing. Well, I think it's amazing. It's a very nice song. It might not seem amazing upon first listen, but to really appreciate the song, you have to see the movie. It's Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet, I think. And the storyline is probably the most unique storyline. Well, one of the most unique storylines I've ever seen in a movie. It's definitely the kind of movie you have to watch twice. So, anyway, the theme is called, I think it's just called Theme. Where is it? Yes, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's just called Theme. I will link it to the sidebar of this video with the iTunes link. And the artist is John Bryan. I guess that's how you say his name. Anyway, guys, that's the song suggestion of this Geek Update. Will I make it to Geek Update 4.0? I don't know, guys. I really talked the hell out of your heads. So anyway, guys, I appreciate your patience. I will get back into the regular swing, I guess, string of videos in the coming days. And as always, if you want to see any videos, say so on my channel comments, or follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/thecreativeone, and on Facebook. Add me as a friend on Facebook. I encourage everyone to add me, even if I don't personally know you. Facebook.com/DavidDeFranco. It's also on my main YouTube channel page. At the top of the banner, it says Facebook. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Go Phillies! Oh, yeah.